If you've ever struggled to come up with a fresh new color combination for your cards, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing the brand new Spellbinders Color Deck. The Color Deck is a really fun product that allows you to use color inspiration, create your own color combinations, and even provide sketches, color theory, and all kinds of other information. So first, let's take a look at the color deck and the punch that you can get that coordinates with it. So this is the Spellbinders brand new DIY color deck. You can see that the box is very sturdy. This is meant to be used and held over and over again. There's a ribbon pull tab on one side and then a little scoop area that makes it easy to get the cards out with one finger on the other side. The color deck is 52 cards and gives you a little idea of what's on each side. So the first side has different images, really pretty, fun images in different colors. And the second side has color theory, it has sketches, it has all kinds of different information on the back. But what's really cool is when you pick out one of the cards from the color deck, there are 5 1-inch by 1-inch squares on the right hand side, as you can see. So those 5 1-inch squares can be filled in with whatever medium you like to work with the most. For me, it's definitely cardstock, so I will be starting with a cardstock color combination. Here are just a couple of examples of photos that I've chosen and color combinations that I've created. Obviously, you may see different colors in this image and you may create a different color combination on the right-hand side. And that's what's so great about this, is it really can be customized to what you see, what you love in the photo or in the art that's created on the left-hand side. This last one I did was watercolors. So this is the photo or card that I'm choosing today, and the back has a creative spark, which is a sketch. In order to choose my cardstock colors, I have my petal swatch from Spellbinders Cardstock, and I'm looking through the photo and holding up the swatches to the photo to see what I actually see in this photo as far as colors. So here's the punch that you can use. If you have a 1-inch by 1-inch punch, that's fine. This one is great. It locks down. You just slide the little lever to the right and it opens it up. And then you just insert the paper, press the handle, and it easily punches out 1 by 1-inch squares. You could obviously cut these if you want, but this just makes it so fast and easy. And I had actually gotten rid of all my punches back from my scrapbooking days. So I was really happy that Spellbinders came out with one perfect for this color deck. So there are all of my color cubes, and now I'll just place some liquid adhesive on the right hand side, a little bit in each square, and then line up the squares however you want, whatever makes sense to you. I kind of like to go with what I see first, or I arrange them in ways that is pleasing to my eye as far as the colors next to each other. So those are just 2 different ways that I make my color combinations. You can see that that dark gray is in the rug. It's also in the upper left a little bit. There's also a yellow here that you could have found. There's more of a white in there. Here's the sketch that's on the back. It's a nice, simple sketch, and it's got tags. So I'm going to use my Spellbinders tag punch to create those tags. The smallest tag that you can create with the tag punch is a 1.5-inch tag. So I'm cutting strips of cardstock to 1.5 inches in the colors that I'm going to use for the tags. So I have the carrot color, the tutu color, and the coral color. Now, you'll have to shorten these tags so that they can fit, and then I just use the Spellbinders trimmer to do that. So I just shortened them down. And then I have the Spellbinders everlasting circles. That will be those circles that you see in the sketch. And I've just cut out 2 of the dark gray colors because I like to try and match the sort of lightness or darkness of the sketch itself. It kind of helps me choose the colors. And I also grabbed a couple of sentiments that I'd already, this one was better pressed with one of the Gorgeous You sentiments, and this one was foiled and die cut, and I can't remember where that's from, but I'll find it and I'll link it down below. And then just pop up those circles. And then I wanted to add a little something because this is a very simple, clean and simple card, which I absolutely love just on its own. You don't have to add anything else, but I thought some pearls would be a nice addition to that card. This came together so quickly because the colors were already in the art that I chose, and then the sketch was right on the back. So I love having two things like that, two ideas in one card. Now this card has a totally different look to it, and then on the back it gives you an idea for a creative spark, which is to blend a background with inks. So I've chosen some Distress Oxide inks that I think are represented in this photo. Once again, you could see totally different colors in this photo than I see. So I'm starting with Distress Oxide ink in Spun Sugar. Mine's a little dry, it looks like, so I'm having to really scrub at that ink pad. I just need to refill it. But basically I want a large enough smush of ink that I can then cut out a 1 by 1 inch square. The best way to do this, if you are not using it with cardstock, is to flip the punch over so you can see exactly where you're punching to make sure that the entire square is covered with the ink that I added to that cardstock. So I will continue to do this for the rest of the colors, and I was able to fit all 5 colors, even with a little extra just in case. Wanted to make them big enough that the whole square was covered in the ink. I was able to fit them on an A2 piece of white cardstock. And that's the other thing, is I would recommend, whatever medium you're using, to use the type of cardstock that you're going to use with that medium. So if you end up swatching out watercolors, I would use watercolor paper here because you really want to see how the color is going to result on the paper that you're going to end up using when you make your card. So here I use Hammermill to blend my inks because it's nice and smooth. So I made sure to blend out the swatches on Hammermill as well, and then just glue those down on the right-hand side where those little squares are. Next, I am using those colors and that color combination to create an ink blended background. So I have the same colors of inks. This is handy. I just didn't put them away. I kept them out so that I could blend my background. And I like to go over some of the areas in between the two colors to make sure that there's no harsh lines. Next, I decided to add little spritz of water because Distress Oxide ink can react with water really pretty. And then I decided that wasn't enough. So I wanted to add some of the Spellbinders splatter. So I have the sort of white pearl color. I'll add some water to the tray and then pick it up with my brush and then splatter that right on top. And I feel like that is a great representation of the whiter spots on the art that I am mimicking with my blend. This is the embossing folder for the month of April. And so I'll just put this entire panel in there once it's completely dry and emboss it. And then I grabbed these die cuts, were from the large die of the month. And so they have little envelopes and then little wax seals on them. So I placed 2 of those on there. And then this sentiment is from the Better Press kit of the month. So I'm using a bunch of different kit clubs to complete this card. So this should show you that you can use whatever you want, whatever medium you want, and then to create your card, whatever medium you want for that as well. So combining a bunch of different products to create a really fun card based on the color deck card that I chose. I don't know about you, but I tend to reach for some of my favorite colors all the time, over and over again. And using the color deck really inspired me to step outside of my comfort zone, try some new color combinations, and play with color in a way that I hadn't before. So whether you consider yourself a color expert or somebody who struggles with color combinations, the color deck is such a fun, new, inspiring way to put together color combinations for your projects. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this new product. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Cards.